Well, good morning, Gigi.
Bonjour, Kerry. This used to be my school. During the war, we used to go to this school. It's a practitioner, and I do remember they hired the couple to teach the kids, a man and a woman, and they used to live here.
Where did they live?
Well, here, upstairs.
The teachers lived upstairs there, and the school was down
And
here.
they were hired to teach the children all year round. And this used to be the Freo where we used to play at during the day. The recess. This was the Freo, we called that, the recess.
This was the playground?
The recess where we used to rain, we used to come here and play.
Well, let's go in here for a second. Now, come here and talk into the camera. You have to talk into the camera, nothing will be recorded.
But this place used to be empty, of course. The place used to be empty, and we used to play here. I don't know how many kids we were in this school, but not too many, I'm sure.
Well,
maybe 20.
And now it's the mayor's office.
Now it's the mayor's office.
And all the cars are here maybe because there's a wedding.
Probably.
Now, when you played here...
It was completely empty. There were nothing. It seems bigger than this. I think it was a complete...
They collected antiques and put the antiques in here. Were all the children, all different ages...
Yes.
In one room?
Oh yeah, from first grade to probably third grade, I suppose. I don't know. I was here only probably 1 year during the war.
The Germans didn't interfere with you kids going to school?
No, not at all. No.
When you got around, did you walk to school? Because your house is over that way about...
2 kilometers about. And
you walked to school, there was
we walked to school every day at 9 o'clock, I suppose. I think that was 9 o'clock until 3:30 or 4:30. I don't remember the time, but we used to walk and rain or shine.
And the kids, the older kids, they just looked out the window when the younger kids were getting their lesson?
I have no idea, Gary. I do not remember that. I do remember having a woman teacher, and we had the teacher had one book to teach us, and we were supposed to write down the lesson and study at home. But of course, that was only in the first grade, so it wasn't so drastically important to learn our lesson, I guess. And I remember after 6 June 1944, we didn't go to school. All the schools were closed.
Well, it was a combat zone, right?
Yeah, it was a combat zone, I suppose. I don't know.
Il y a un mariage aujourd'hui? Oh, okay.
Why all those cars?
Okay.
Non.
Okay.
Pardon?
Vous avez demandé?
Non. Je suis née ici à Tracy-sur-Mer et je suis venue ici à l'école en 1944. Et alors, je fais un film pour ma fille qui est aux États-Unis. Alors, c'est pour ça, on voudrait savoir si il y a une possibilité d'aller à l'intérieur de la classe.
Ben, il y a une réunion de conseil.
Il y a une réunion aujourd'hui.
Oh.
C'est pour ça qu'il y a beaucoup de voitures?
Oui, c'est pour ça.
Ah, il y a une réunion. Ah, ok, ouais, je reviendrai un autre jour. Alors.
Mais les classes n'existent pas maintenant.
Non,
Il est tout
il y a longtemps. Mais ici, le préau était ouvert jusqu'au bout.
Oui, jusqu'au bout, oui.
Oui.
Et ils ont fermé parce qu'ils ont fait une salle pour le comité des fêtes.
Ah oui, d'accord. Elle est petite, la salle. Hein. Mais enfin,
non, la salle est à côté, mais là,
c'est l'entrée.
C'est pour un débat.
Ah oui, d'accord, oui.
Des choses.
C'est bien ce qui me semblait. Il me semblait que c'était beaucoup plus grand, le préau. Parce qu'on venait jouer ici, je me souviens.
Did you used to skip rope? We used to sing Here We Go Round the Mulberry Bush so early in the morning. Did you sing?
Huh?
Did you sing songs and skip rope?
Well, I remember skipping rope, but I don't remember about the song, children's song, I suppose.
How about marbles? Did the little boys?
Yeah, the boys used to play marbles in the
mud.
In the court.
So you'd come to school with about 10 marbles, and if you were lucky, you'd go home with about 20 marbles.
Right. Especially my brother used to have marbles all his pockets, and he used to be so heavy.
We used to always have chalk and a little slate board.
We used to use the chalk to play La Marraine.
No, but for studying, didn't you have a little slate board?
The teacher had the slate
like a little blackboard
with the chalk.
A little blackboard?
A little
Did
blackboard,
you take that home, though? Did you have your own little...
No.
You didn't have a little...
Oh, no, each kid, you mean? No.
Yeah.
Later on, maybe I think I did, but here I don't remember it. No.
Oh, now, you said something about no school children came to school during the war zone time.
Yeah, but the war after 1944.
Now,
but before that, we used to go to school every day.
Explain how you were actually born. Now, you said your mother, half of her children were delivered all by herself?
Yeah, my mother had 7 children, but my youngest sister was born in 1942, and I was born in 1937, and my mother had 7 children, and they were all born in a farm. And of course, at the last minute, she would call Dr. Turlot, who would, of course, help my mother with her children.
But she cut her own umbilical cord and had the baby on
my 2 sisters after me and my brother, she cut the umbilical cord herself because the Dr. Turlot was too busy to come.
Too busy?
Too busy with other births, I suppose.
Did he come on a horse, too? Everything
was...
the knife sharpener man?
Yeah, he would come with a buggy and a horse, of course.
And you'd go out there and pay a certain amount of...
Well, my mother used to pay, of course, I suppose.
Some centimes and so on.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned going during the wartime zones then, you went to the blockhouse and you'd play over there. Over here, did you ever see any German soldiers, or was it just the officers who would come to your house?
No, I never see any German. Even when we used to go to school, they would be by the beach where the blockhouse were.
But some came to your house,
and
officers?
2 German officers came to the farm because my mother was washing their clothes every week. And the 2 officers, one of them thinks I was smarter, or they think I was nicer than the other kids. He wanted to take me back to Germany. And he says, I want to take that girl to take back to Germany with me. And my mother said, no, you cannot have my children. They're not for sale. If you want to have any kids, you have to have your own.
Do you have to get married or something?
You have to get married or not. I don't know during that time.
And she would sell them apples or cheese or eggs?
Sometimes they would requisition eggs and chicken and probably butter and milk.
After the house was bombed and everything and you had nothing, the cows were all over the fields, your mom wanted to leave and go to Paris to raise you in a boarding school, right?
Yeah, that's right. But
now, your father was a little upset, and he was mean to her a little, and actually, she wanted to get a divorce from him because he didn't want to leave Normandy, right?
Well, I think at that time my mother wasn't sure of what she wanted to do, but she knew she couldn't stay with my father because they were not getting along at all. And she decided, well, that's going on, the war is going on, and we have nothing left, so I'm going to just go to Paris because my aunt, her sister, Renée, would live in Paris and decided that maybe we should be put in a boarding school and have a good education.
During wartime, and this happened in Poland and other countries too, any place there's a war, we have a feature called denouncing your next door neighbor. If his dog went in your front yard and you didn't clean up, or your tree branches were not trimmed back and brushed his house, he would denounce you. He'd turn you in. Your father actually turned your mom in for
after
collaboration?
the war, we went to my aunt's house for about 3 months before going to Paris. And my father told the government, I suppose, that my mother was selling stuff to the Germans. And at that time, she had to. All the eggs and milk was requisition, and she did sell to the German, of course. And my father was so mad that she
about
was
the divorce.
About the divorce and
Yeah.
leaving him. He decided to denunciate her, and she went to prison because of that. 3 months in camp.
So if you didn't like your neighbor, or you had an axe to grind with somebody, they'd go in the slammer, and then the judge would say, "What do you know?" or "What did you do?" And all she knew was where the cows could get the best grass, and that was about it. She didn't have any...
Well, after my aunt helped my mother to get out of jail by going to the judge himself and telling him, you have to put her dossier all around the top, because they had so many denunciations that they were full of them on the desk. So the judge decided she would put my mother's dossier all around the top. So she passed and first, and she was liberated after 3 months. But my mother never forgot my father for doing that.
Well, I can well imagine when this happens during war times, all kinds of cruelty happens. A lot of people don't know that happens. Now, you saw your mom taken away by the police?
I do remember seeing my mother between 2 gendarmes, and she used to wear a green uniform. My mother used to have a green uniform, and I do remember vividly in my mind my mother going through the gate and going away, and I was very sad.
Now, she wore wooden shoes sometimes with straw on them?
Yeah, my mother wore wooden shoes. She told me. I didn't see her with wooden shoes, but she did tell me she would wear them, milking the cows, and would put some hay in it. What did you say?
Yes, no, straw.
Oh, let the lady go on. Do you want to go in the front and check?
Oh, all right. Let's go. Take us around the front here.
Okay.
It's finally stopped raining.
I think so.
Here's an old bike. It looks like they got a lot of old antiques in this yard here.
Yeah.
Look at that. There's your pig.
Pig?
Sophie the pig.
Oh yeah, little pig here.
There's Sophie the pig.
Not Sylvie, Sophie the pig.
Yeah, Sophie, not Sylvie. And here's some more birds in a birdhouse. And here's the old schoolyard is turned into a city hall.
Yeah, they have a meeting today, so that's going to. And here.
There's the ocean. There's the ocean out there. That's Aromanche. So it still says École Communale. Yeah, it still says that it's a schoolyard.
Yeah.
This schoolhouse was right on the border of the water. How come it never got bombed?
Pure luck, I think.
Just pure luck.
Yeah.
An American pilot once told me that only 10% of the bombs ever hit their target. So your house being bombed out and the bad luck you had was just, well,
I think they had 2 houses bombed in Tracy-sur-Mer where I was born.
Oh.
The rest of the houses are standing up right now. But the government, after the war, they would rebuild the housing that were bombed during the war. But my father and mother being divorced, they couldn't get it.
There you can see up on this window here, you can see they decorated this city hall with ducks, pigeons, and cats up on the windowsill ledges.